All right, everyone. So all the schedules have finally been released. So today we'll be going over what races I plan on doing for this coming season. So I made this graphic here with all the races that I plan to do. Now, the first thing that I want to say is this is subject to change, but at first glance, looking at the schedule, these are the races that stood out to me that I want to attend. So we'll go through the schedule here. We'll start the season in April, attending the Muddy Waters GP. Then, about a month later, we'll be heading to Fox Valley Off Road for a doubleheader weekend with a GP on Saturday and a hare scramble on Sunday. And then next up is New Hartford MX, which it's been, I think, 3 years since the last time I raced there. But this is where things are subject to change because only one weekend at New Hartford has been confirmed. Usually they have two doubleheader weekends. So depending on when that second doubleheader is, these dates may change. I may do one or the other or both, but this kind of comes into all the practice that I've been doing on the Fox Valley Off Road motocross track towards the end of the year last year. And I don't want to just throw all that motocross practice out the window, um, although it does apply to hare scramble and GP racing. I also want to throw MX in the mix. And New Hartford is very similar to Fox Valley Off Road, the motocross track, I would say. So very beginner friendly, and that's kind of where this is coming into play. So the next weekend after the New Hartford doubleheader, we'll be heading back to Fox Valley Off Road for their GP. Probably not going to do the doubleheader because that's just a ton of racing in just 1 or 2 weeks time. So don't want to get too burnt out and just want to not do too much. So there's that. Now, a month later, we'll be heading to Byron for their hare scramble, and I believe that's a WFO Promotions sanctioned race. Then a few weeks later, we'll be heading back to Fox Valley Off Road again for another GP. And then starting in the second weekend of August, we're going to head to Roselawn, Indiana for the Summer Bummer Sprint Enduro. Really looking forward to that one. That's one that I've wanted to attend for the past few years, but just with other circumstances have not been able to. But it's on my calendar. I'm not going to miss that one. Now, that is the same date as a Fox Valley Off-Road GP, so I'm not going to be able to make all of the GPs at Fox Valley this year. But the next day, that Sunday, I'm not exactly sure if this is a typo on the schedule, so this again is something that's subject to change, but it says at Fox Valley Off-Road there is a motocross race. I'm not sure if that's a mistake and it should be a Megatrax race. So again, I'll follow up on that. But if there's the motocross race at Fox Valley Off Road, I am 100% attending that because again, I've been putting in a lot of work at that track, so I want to obviously race it. That would be a dream come true. So fingers crossed on that one, but again, I'll have to follow up there. So, starting in September, we're going to do the Ottawa GP, and then the end of September, which is actually my birthday weekend, is a Fox Valley Off Road doubleheader. So, not really much better way to celebrate than 2 days of racing at Fox Valley. So, that will be fun. Then in October, looking at the schedules, I am very surprised at how few October races there are. Um, so I'm surprised in that end, but there is a race or a GP at Muddy Waters that we will be going to. And then finally in November, we'll be wrapping up the season at the Leaf River Sprint Enduro. So what are some things that we can derive from the schedule? Well, this year I do not want to limit myself to one specific type of racing or one or two specific types of racing. I want to diversify my racing profile. So we'll be trying to do 4 different formats of racing this year, which is really exciting. And one type of racing will benefit another type of racing, so it all ties together. Another thing that we may notice is, for the most part, it's about one race per month. And if it's a double header, then it's one weekend per month, aside from, for example, June and July. So June and July are, and I guess September too. June, July, and September are the 3 months where I have 2 races. The rest of the months, there's only one race and probably 3 or 4 week gap in between the races. Um, so again, this is kind of going to an issue I've been having for the past few years, where I get so excited at the start of the season and I race, and burn myself out. So I'm going to try and split the races up a little bit and then focus on riding more in between the races, because when I'm racing a ton, I lose sight of riding and practicing. So we'll have a race, we'll analyze the race, see what we need to work on, go to the practice track, practice for a few weeks, and then come back and race again. So hopefully we see a slight improvement in the results um, as a result of that itself. So with that said, again, this is subject to change. So make sure to follow me on my Facebook page and also my Instagram page. Both of the links will be in the description, and then I'll notify of any potential changes to my plans. But initially, this is what I have, and I'm really looking forward to this coming season. So, guys, I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you in the next video.